Hello everyone, welcome to Titan Academy. In this video we will discuss the table element in the Titan forms. I'll give you a quick overview of the table and the most used functions in the table. Alright, so let's dive right into it. On the table on the screen. And what the table is used for is to bring in data from Salesforce. You can bring in multiple records onto the table, and there's tons of options within the table that I will show you the most common used ones. So let's say we want to bring in accounts, and we'll do account name, and this is the account object in Salesforce. We'll bring in the email and the type. Okay, email and the account type. Great. Before we get into the mappings, I'm just going to show you the styling real quick. And in the table, you can apply styles to a bunch of stuff. So let's say you want the table header to be in a different background, and then we want the font to be white. Great. And like this, you can control every single element, every column you add dynamically. You can customize it. Whatever you add onto the table, you can customize it through the styles. Great. Now let's head over to our map fields, and let's map our fields. So let's say we want to get an account. We'll say get accounts into table, and we will say execute on form load. Since we're not going to have any conditions here, we're just going to bring in all accounts, and we'll limit by 20. And let's map our fields. So we'll be able to see that if I'll search for a table, then I can map the table.account name, table.email, table.type, and let's map the name, email, and type. Needless to say that if I will change the name of the table, so I'll say account table, or if you will change in advanced the tag, so once I head back to my get, let's take a look at my mapped fields, we can see that the table name has changed, just like any element within Titan. Alright, so apply and finish. Let's publish this guy. And we have our accounts. Let's customize the table just a little bit. So we'll say that we want 20 rows per page, and let's make the table slightly taller, and you can show filter. That's a really good feature. I'll show you what that does. And we can also hide the footer, so that will not show how many rows we have back. I'll hit refresh, and within the filter, now I can search for whatever I want in any of the fields here. Type, and it just filters the table according to your search. So this is very, very useful. All right, let's remove this guy and let's move on. Let's say within the table, we want to have actions. So I'll head over to the element settings again, and I'll head over to advanced, and let's start with the view. What the view gives you is once the user will click the view, you can show more fields. So let's say just aside from the type, what we have here, let's say do allow view, and let's add also let's say the annual revenue. Add, and let's say also the industry, and we'll add that, and you can give it a custom label. Hit apply, refresh, and once I click the view, we can see it here. This one specifically doesn't have, this one does. All right, let's move on. We see that we have allow edit and a bunch of other options here. On any of these options, and in general, anything in Titan, you will have question mark. Once you click it, it will take you to a quick overview of how to use it, and you'll always have a video on how to use that feature. So this is very, very helpful, very easy to learn. Just go out and explore. Another thing you have on the allow view is if we head back there, you can see that you can map your record ID to a hidden. So let's say we'll add a hidden over here, and I'll put this guy a little bit lower so we can see it right here, and we'll say viewed count ID. And whenever the user will click the view, once we map it, it will give us the ID of the account, and then you can run conditions on this. I'll show you something nice with the custom action. So that works literally the same. And let's head back to the element, click configure, map record ID to hidden, save, refresh this guy, click, close it, and we see the view account ID. So now you can have conditions on the hidden, etc., etc. And the reason that I'm seeing these hiddens is since I put on the form settings in debug mode, I selected the show hidden fields. All right, let's remove this. We'll go back to the table, advanced, allow edit, configure, and I'll select the account name is editable, email is editable, and that's enough. And we can also add more elements to edit. Let's say I want to edit also the email too. And we'll give it a label, secondary email, and we'll say that it is mandatory. Now, one thing to notice here, I'll hit apply and save, that once I configure the edit and I'll head over to my Salesforce integration push, there's nothing here. And if I'll go to my get, same thing goes for the view, and I'll take a look at the mapped, nothing was added. Everything here within the table, all the advanced options, the edit, the view, the delete, it doesn't add anything to the push or to the get. It all happens from within the table. All right, so we've configured the edit. Let's head back, refresh, and I'll click the edit. I'll put a secondary email, and we'll do edited account. I'll give it a change. Secondary email is mandatory. And I'll run the update. All right, if I'll head over to my integration logs, I'll be able to see that my account was updated. In a second, I'll map it to a hidden, and then we'll be able to see it happen immediately. That's our account. Our account was edited, and we have the secondary email map to email 2. All right, let's add a hidden, and we'll call this edited account. Let's head back to the table, configure, map records to edited account, and let's also at the same time allow inline edit, and we'll do the same thing here, and I will allow edit for this guy and this guy. Hit apply, and I've ignored some settings over there. In a moment we will review them again. All right, so if I'll edit this guy now, I'll put it back to edited account. I see that the push ran, it updated my account, And if I'll view it in Salesforce, refresh, I'll see my latest edits. That's wonderful. Let's head back to the inline edit, and I'll say silent mode, and you can also execute actions whenever this runs. So this is really great. Let's make the table a little wider, and let's refresh. What will happen now is the user doesn't see anything running, and we still see the update running. So that happens literally behind the scenes. This is a really, really great feature. All right, let's move on, and we'll show the allow add. Allow delete is pretty straightforward, and for all the rest of them, you can just click on the question marks, and I will show you what they do. Let's say for an account, you want to click on the account, and you want to see all the contacts that are related to it. So for this, we will scroll down and add a level. And what we will do with add a level, you will see that once I'm on the first level, we'll call this the account level, it gives me different settings for the table element. Once I move into level 2, I see different settings for that level. So let's give this first name, last name, and we'll map this from the contact, and we'll give it an email. Click on map fields. Let's add an object. Let's get a contact. We'll say get contacts for first level account and table, and we'll leave it as auto trigger, and our condition is very simple. We'll say give me the account ID on the contact that equals to the first level, so this Titan gives you automatically to level 1 dot record ID. We'll hit apply, and let's map our fields. So first name, so we can search also level 2, and what you see here is once you add a level, then account table level 1, and you can also change the label on the second level to have contact, so it will be more meaningful. All right, so let's map our fields. So first name, last name, and email. Apply and finish. We'll save it. Let's refresh. And let's go for Edge C. Should have contacts. And we saw one contact returned. Since we forgot to do a simple thing, I'll go back to my get, go to my condition, and I'll say return all. Let's limit by 20 as well. And I'll hit apply and save. Refresh this. Click on Edge C. And we have all of our contacts for this guy. Click over here. We have a bunch of contacts here as well. Okay, so I'll head back to the table element. I'm on level 2. And what I want to do here is allow add. So the first ones we covered in the first level, let's add in this level. So we will do editable for first name, editable for last name. Last name is mandatory. Let's make the email mandatory as well, and we can add more elements here. So let's say, what else we can add from the contact? Let's say phone. We'll hit add, and we can change the captions here as well. And you can reorder it, so you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. We'll hit apply. We'll hit save. Let's refresh, and let's go to this guy, and we'll add a new contact. So we'll say added from, let's say, from table, and we'll give it an email. And we'll put some phone in. I'll run the ad. And again, you can return this hidden and then take it from there. Let's take a look at our integration logs and see what happened. Notice that I did not map the account ID. If I'll head over to the contact, you can see that Titan automatically related that to that account. Automatically did that for you. You didn't even have to do it. If you want to map stuff on the ad behind the scenes, you can do, for instance, if we want to map, let's say if we have another lookup over here, let's add the account ID and I'll show you how this looks like. Then you can say map value, and then you can select what you want to map it, either to a hidden or to something from the level. So if you want to override what Titan did automatically, then you can select directly from here. Or if you have another lookup on the contact, let's see if I have something over here. Let's set a value behind the scenes regardless to lookups. So let's just get rid of this. Let's say we want to map the home phone behind the scenes, and we can do map value on this guy, and then you can select a hidden or something from level 1. Then you can control behind the scenes without even showing it to the user. All right, next up, let me show you the custom actions. The custom actions are very, very powerful. If I'll select this, what this gives you is to create a button on the account, on the table. Right now we're in level 1, so that will be on the account. You can do it for any level. It will let you create a button, and once you click on the button, you can decide what you want to do. So let's say we'll do click me, and then you can either map it to a hidden, and then from the hidden take it from there, like run a condition, and this is the scenario I'll show you. You can also make sure the user confirms once he clicks it, so you can enable the confirmation. You can say what happened when it's no, when it's yes, etc. And you can also run a trigger, so you can run any custom actions you like, push or gets, whatever. Right now I don't have any, but you can run a get behind the scenes, you can run a push, you can do a lot of stuff directly from here. Okay, so I'll hit apply, and you see my button click me, and you can style this button. If we go to the table styles, and you'll be able to see the custom action click me. And let's add a hidden here, and we will say click me custom action. What that will do, whenever the user clicks on the clicks me, it will map, and you can have multiple custom actions as well. It will map the, in this instance, the account ID onto my click me custom action hidden. And from there you can do a bunch of stuff. You can run a get, you can pop up a window, you can do a ton of stuff. Okay, so let's head back to the table and advanced custom actions, and I'll map it to the click me custom action. Right now we're not going to do anything, just will show you how this runs. So if I'll click the click me, I see the account ID is updated as soon as I click it. From here, for instance, you can do like let's do a section. I'll put it over here. Let's just bring text with case number. Head over to the get, and I'll add an object, and I'll say give me a case, and that will be auto trigger, and my condition will be very simple. Give me the count ID on the case that equals the click me custom action, and bring me all of them. Let's do 20, and we'll map the field case number to the case number. Apply and finish. Let's just make this guy auto sizing. Click save, refresh my form, and it should have some cases, and there we have it. Another thing we can do, let's get rid of this, and we'll get rid of our get, is say you have another form. Let's create a new form real quick, and let's say you want to bring in the more account information directly from here, or you can bring in the related cases into here, anything you can imagine. What we will do is add a hidden, and that hidden number is FLD2. Obviously you can override that in the limits parameter names, and we'll call this count ID, and let's do just a simple get of, let's bring in another table. No, let's just do text box of the case number, and I'll bring in just the first case. Okay, so Salesforce integration, set get, add object, we'll call case, get first case, of the account, and our condition will be count ID equals my ACC ID hidden, and let's map the case number to the case number in Salesforce. Apply and finish, and we'll save this, and let's publish the form. I'll grab the URL, I'll head over here into the conditioning, set conditions, and I'll say if it's not empty, we do not need to support the opposite, and we will say redirect open modal. You can map the URL from a hidden, we'll do from other, we'll put it in, we'll do open in the modal. Let's do 975 by 975, and you have a bunch more options over here. We're just going to set the parameter. We'll say we'll pass the click me custom action to FLD2. We'll hit apply, 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 apply. We'll save this, and once I will refresh this guy, and I'll click on the etc, click on the click me, and on the etc, then I'll have my modal, and I get the first case in the modal. And again, here you can go wild with it, show a nice edit screen, you can do anything you can think of. Alright, so let's head back to our table. A few more things I'll show you here. If we'll head back to the advanced, we can control the captions. So whatever we have on the table, we can configure. So the view, we can override, edit, whatever comes next level, can change the caption, everything you like. You can change the captions. Previous level, you can override anything here. Once you apply, it will change the captions on the table. Another cool thing is you can also use format. So let's say if you know that the email is in a number format, obviously it doesn't make any sense. You can format the number to however you want it to look like. So you can do decimal count, prefix, postfix. So let's say if it's a USD, and then it will look something like so. And go ahead and explore, and if you're bringing back a time field, you can select the formats, how you want it to show. And also with the formats, if you have a date format, you can decide directly from here globally on all the dates in the table what formats they should be in. Another cool thing we can do, not specifically with tables, generally with the get, let's say we want to bring in accounts, only accounts that have contacts. So what we could do is head over to our get, and I'll add a new get here, and I'll say let's get contacts. Get all contacts with account ID. And I'll execute this on form load and my condition, and I'll return everything. My condition will be very simple, and I'll say the account ID on the contact is not empty, and I can, let's hit apply. I can ignore this message since it's a static condition. What I will do, I'll move the account, I'll nest it under the contact. Let's move both up. And in the account, in my condition, what I can say is, bring me please only accounts where their account IDs are in contact number 1 account ID. So in the first contact get, we did not map anything. Let's limit it to 50, and I'll hit apply and apply and save. Once I will refresh this, I'll get only accounts with contacts in them. So this is a really cool way to use nested get to get your data correctly. Another thing to notice once you use a mobile, let me show you this in real usage. So let's say I'll get rid of this table and I'll add a new one, just so we'll have all the columns straight. And let's get rid of the mobile view, and I'll create a new mobile view. Let's say I want to show just the first columns, and I'm just ignoring how this looks. Obviously we need to make the images smaller to make it look normal in the mobile, but from here I can say column 1 height per device, and I want to show just column 3, so column 2 height per device. And now in the mobile you can just show one column, and then like a custom actions, once the user clicks it, it will show him the entire data of the account or contact, whatever it is, custom object you're bringing onto your table. And this is how it's done.